What factors influence the UV index? Have you ever wondered why some days the sun feels more intense than others? The answer lies in the ultraviolet index, a measure of how strong the sun's ultraviolet radiation is. Understanding what influences this index is essential for outdoor activities like fishing, where both anglers and fish can be affected by UV exposure. First, let's talk about the sun angle and time of day. The UV index peaks when the sun is directly overhead, usually around midday. During early morning and late afternoon, the UV levels are lower. For fishing, this means that midday can be tough for both anglers and fish. Fish often retreat to deeper waters to escape the bright sunlight, making it a better time to fish in the early morning or late evening when UV levels are lower. Next, latitude and season play a significant role. The closer you are to the equator, the higher the UV index. This is because the sun's rays travel a shorter distance through the atmosphere, which means less absorption of UV radiation. In summer months, the UV index rises as the sun climbs higher in the sky. For anglers, this means tropical and equatorial waters have higher UV levels year-round, so sun protection becomes vital. Altitude is another factor. At higher elevations, the UV index increases due to less atmosphere filtering the UV rays. If you are fishing in mountain lakes or high-altitude streams, be aware that the UV exposure is stronger than at sea level. Cloud cover can also impact UV levels. While clouds can reduce UV radiation, they do not completely block it. Thin or scattered clouds can even reflect UV rays, increasing exposure. On cloudy days, fish may move into shallower waters, but anglers should still be cautious and use sun protection. Surface reflection is another important consideration. Water reflects UV rays, which can increase exposure for anglers. While water reflects less UV than snow or sand, it still contributes to higher exposure, especially in saltwater fishing. Snow and sand reflected even more UV, nearly doubling exposure in snowy areas and significantly increasing it on beaches. Lastly, the ozone layer absorbs some UV radiation. Variations in ozone thickness can affect the UV index, but this is less noticeable on a daily basis for fishing activities. For practical applications, anglers should wear clothing rated for ultraviolet protection factor that blocks UV rays, especially during high UV index times. Fish often seek deeper or shaded waters when UV levels are high, so adjusting fishing strategies to low UV periods or shaded areas can be beneficial. Understanding UV index patterns helps anglers plan safer fishing trips and predict fish behavior more effectively. In summary, the UV index is influenced by sun angle, latitude, altitude, cloud cover, surface reflection, and atmospheric conditions. These factors affect both human exposure and fish behavior, making UV awareness an important part of outdoor adventure skills and safety in fishing.